Hi there, this is Art Johnson. Today we're going to have a video on audio. We're going to talk about microphones. Specifically, we're going to talk about the difference between dynamic mics and condenser mics. This is an Audio-Technica 2100. I think it's the model number is ATR 2100. It's a very popular mic. It's a dynamic mic, and there's some special things about this microphone. It's popular because it's very reasonably priced and it does a pretty good job. So I think you can get it these days for around $59. I've seen it up as high as $80, $90 a couple years ago. I got mine through Fry's Electronics, and I think I paid $54.99 for it. So I was happy about that. So it's a dynamic mic. What does that mean? It means that when you talk into this mic, your voice creates a vibration against a diaphragm, and that vibration is converted into an analog signal. Think of a wave. And that analog signal is carried by usually an XLR cord, which is this. And that XLR cord usually connects into a mixer of some kind or some kind of a receiver where the analog signal is then converted. Basically, dynamic mics are very durable mics. They tend to pick up close to them. They don't have a lot of range. If I held the mic up to my face this way, it would do a good job of picking up the sound and not picking up a lot of extraneous noise. Dynamic mics also do not need any external power. They're really powered by the sound of your voice. And these type of mics are typically used in performances, so you'll see singers will favor dynamic mics, even groups, combos, because they don't mind getting close to the microphone, and they don't like having a lot of external noise. Dynamic mics are also very popular for podcasting. Some of the higher end mics there, the Heil PR40, the Rodecaster, Electro Voice, all of those high-end mics used for podcasting are dynamic mics. Interestingly enough, one of the more popular mics for podcasting is a mic called a Blue Yeti, and I'll put a photo of that up here. The Blue Yeti is, first of all, it's economical as better mics go. It runs around a little over $100, I think, is what you can get them, $100 to $130. But the base model of the Blue Yeti is an extraordinarily popular mic. So it's a condenser mic. So what that means is that it's a powered mic, and it has an electronic pickup. You still have to talk into a diaphragm, but it's converted to a digital signal. You talk into the mic, it's transmitted along a line and into your mixer or sound system, and at that point it's converted from the digital to an audible signal. It does require something called phantom power, and typically that's up to 48 volts, and if you're using a mixer or a recorder, they will normally provide that. However, some condenser mics do have their own phantom power. So that's something to bear in mind. If you've got a condenser mic, you need to get the power from the device that's the recorder at the end of the signal, or the mic has a battery powered by itself. What other things are dynamic and condenser mics? A lot of your lavalier mics are condenser mics. They don't really use the what we call phantom power. They use something called plug-in power, and sometimes the mic will have a battery with it, and sometimes it comes out of your device. So that's because it's a condenser mic. So on the subject of the ATR 2100, though it's a dynamic mic, and it does have an XLR connection on the end of it. I'll show you this here. See if we can see it better. The three-prong connection there. That's for an XLR cord. It also has a USB connection on there. that you can see by my finger there. The USB connection will then plug into directly into your computer. So unfortunately, a lot of people talk about mics as a USB mic. There's really no such thing as a USB mic. You're just speaking of the connector. So it's better to think of the mic in terms of what type of mic it is rather than how you connect it, because as we see in the case of the ATR 2100, it's a dynamic mic, but it has both XLR and a USB connection. So another reason why this mic is so popular. So stay tuned for future videos. We'll be reviewing specific different mics and talking more about audio in general.